welcome back to the channel. And today we have a Great Bastion or Grand Bastion, however you say it, siege battle for Cathay. And as you can see, we got Norska here coming in at them. And this has some good points for, it's basically like a capital. But right off the bat, one of my issues with it is, look at this. Look how I got it highlighted, where you can see the enemy starts off pretty much halfway into the range of your towers. And these aren't even high level towers, which is one reason this really matters. Okay, like if these were the cannons or the rockets firing, it wouldn't matter as much. But in what world does it make sense that you're this far into your range unharmed? Makes no sense. The older games, the enemy started out outside of tower range. You had much bigger maps, but CA, especially the team that CA has working on Warhammer is just straight up lazy when it comes to this. They clearly have no clue. They just give this to you and think, yeah, this is a big grand battle. They should be happy. No. And considering the group is in England, the English, you think they would understand how to do warfare a little bit better, considering they've declared war on most of the known world at one point or another. But apparently, they've completely forgot about kill zones and what have you. Let's take a look inside. Now, see over here? This should be a multi-layered fortress, because this is supposed to be a bastion against chaos, against Norska, and yet it looks like it's a daggum market city that almost never gets attacked the way it's laid out. Right here, this would be great if this was further over here, okay? So then you could have archers both sides and here, or like I have in some places, archers on the bridge, especially on this side I've got them. This is just a garrison, there's no army. And it's not even a full garrison, not a full 20, which is kind of ridiculous. The garrisons really need to be improved, but look at this layout. The fact that there are so many openings to continue on to the next layer of the city makes no sense. This side should not be here. This tower placement makes no sense. It should be here, so it could be firing out into this area, and then back there. There shouldn't be all this crap in the way of a tower placement. Okay, now look over here. This at least makes sense and is what the rest of this should be, except for maybe those two openings with some minor adjustment. Being able to put your archers on here so they can give support makes sense. Having these towers, okay? These towers right here, and we're going to let it play for a minute so we can come back to something on the front. These towers, you should be able to put these up closer. Like, yes, they can support to a degree. Let's see if we can get the... There we go. I can't really see it, though. There you go. You can see they have range, but not enough, and you're limited on your supplies. Okay. Now, and these should always be epic battles. They really should. But these level of towers are just guns. Which, like I said, makes it even more a big deal that they start halfway up. Now watch, you're gonna see them pull out the magic butt ladders again, which make no sense. Older games, you actually had to make ladders in building your siege equipment, and they had to carry them, which slowed them down. Alright, so if they were archers carrying the siege ladders, they couldn't run up and fire on you, because they were holding the ladders. They didn't have free hands. Oh look, magic ladders just appearing out of nowhere, because that makes sense. Alright. But again, look, we've got this. This is supposed to be constantly under threat and attack. It makes no sense to have all this crap in your way, have so many openings to get in. Like I said, these right here make sense. Okay, except for this part here. It should be over a bit more, less of the buildings in the way. None of the living space, as they are got to be showing, should be up this close. None of it should be. Now, again, you've got some towers. They're okay. at least once the enemy's already up here, but they're blocked. Alright, look at this. They are mostly blocked by the buildings around them. Later you'll see the enemy come in here, but they are blocked. Okay, super annoying. The worst one is in the back. Look at this. There's a tower placement right here, but if you build it, your line of sight is just completely screwed over. Okay, I've done it before. They are worthless. They can only really shoot if the enemy decides to stand right flipping here or here and doesn't move. The enemy's not going to do that. Honestly, this one's a straightforward on the rating. It has the potential to be amazing. And if you've got a full army in here and you can actually man the walls properly, then you're good. But even if I put these guys up there, what I've got, it won't hold it. There's just too many of them. You see, I had to sacrifice a summonable unit over there just to slow these guys down. But you don't start off with enough supplies to get enough of the towers built elsewhere. Because honestly, the towers back here that you can end up building, since you can build them at level 3 or 4. And like there's one right there. And because of that, it can lob over the other units. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It should only be the 2 openings going through here. This side crap on the right and the far left should not exist. Most of these buildings should not be in the way of your towers. This does not look like a settlement that was made to defend itself constantly, which is what they're trying to tell you. Alright, like that clearly looks like it, but hey, that's, you can't defend that. So there's not a lot else I can say about it other than if you're playing these guys, you need to get a partial army because they do. And yes, I know the buildings that they have, and this is one reason to get an army in there as soon as possible. They have buildings that reduce the upkeep of a stationed army in here, which frankly just goes to show you that they know a garrison on its own can't defend this, even against one army in most cases. Maybe. If it's a demon army, they definitely can't. If it's a high-level chaos or a Norscan army, it's not going to happen. Alright, but let's take a look at this real quick. Let's see, you got those guys trying to come over here. We've got archers here. If it was a full garrison, it'd probably be easier. But we don't quite have that. Let's just speed it up so you can see how these towers suck at firing. It's like, see, they're supposed to have line of sight. It says they can shoot, but they're just blocked. Alright. This one has a little bit. Now you're going to come in here. Okay, see, I got a little bit. But it's getting blocked by the tower, or by the walls and the buildings around it, see? It's just blasting those. Oh, and it does shoot down there in between. It doesn't have much space. It's too slow. Too much is blocked. Like, you got all this. It's not going to be able to. It just whacked into the side of that. So it's just an absolute failure. But yes, if you can get an army in here with a few mages, then you're good with some debuffs and some AoE spells, then yes, you're awesome. The layout for this needs to be improved. The garrison, it needs to be a full garrison. There's no reason the Grand Bastion is not a full garrison settlement for defense. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to be putting out another one soon that's going to be covering the Dwarven capital. That's going to be the next one, and that's going to be showing how that one is an epic fail. They had a grand opportunity as dwarves, you know, underground, kind of how they used to be, with it built in the side of the mountain. Similar to this, only a little bit more defensible, but it's just ruined. So please be on the lookout for that one. Hopefully have that one out in the next day or two. Please hit that like button, subscribe, Leave a comment, good or bad. See you next time.